Well, that's exactly the time to go look at the blood moon. Got up early, showered. I haven't eaten breakfast. The dog and the cats have eaten, but I got up to see the blood moon. Man, let's go. Let's go see the blood moon, the harbinger of doom. Let's see. Oh shoot! Look at this, man. It's a dreary, misty, cloudy, foggy morning here in London, England. No sign of the red blood moon. Let's see if I can see at least a red glow coming through the clouds. Come on, man. Oh, well. Well, that's a bust, but I intended to do a show last night, so I guess I'll do it now. Since there's no blood moon for us to see. Stay back there, little cat. Got an anniversary present from my wife. We have 3 anniversaries. The first anniversary happened last week, or a couple of weeks ago. That was the anniversary of the first time we talked online 13 years ago. And then there's the anniversary yesterday of the first time we actually met in person. We talked on the phone like constantly, like 24 hours a day. And then I drove 4 hours to the other side of the state and met her and brought her back to go to a comic book, no, not a comic book, a pinball convention. And she never left. And we married, that anniversary is in May. But that was, of course, not immediate. I mean, that was like the next year. Well, it wasn't immediate. Anyway, I call it it's the 13th anniversary, our second, it's the 13th anniversary of when we met in person. Was Monday. What is today? Today is Tuesday. It was yesterday. I can't keep track of what day it is anyway. That sucks that the red moon was not visible. Here's my special blade. Look at that, man. Definitely, every time I use this, I almost lose a few fingers. I've opened up the package, the top of the package it was from Kevin Johnson at Gotham City Comics. My wife got some books for me from Kevin at Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona, the finest comic store in the United States. And then there was some money also put down on my account by Jeff, a frequent viewer of the show, and that was thank you so much, Jeff. He put down a little money so I got a nice present here. It's like Christmas and whatever month this is, March. Christmas in March. Okay. Kevin doesn't pack like like say Amazon. Like I've already opened the package, and then this flap comes up, and then I've got to open this part. It's like a Rubik's Cube, but your books aren't going to be damaged. You can be assured of that. Now the Amazon will ship you a big hardcover book and just put a little piece of plastic with some air in it, in with it, your book will arrive completely dinged up on all 4 corners, usually. Oh, I see. I get it. You can pull out the piece of cardboard on the side. I could probably paint something on this, maybe to create a diorama. Okay. Oh my gosh. What is this? Okay. Cats are gonna love this box. Okay. Yeah. It's look at that, man. It's got a happy face on it. Is this shirt orange or pink? I'm not sure if I should be wearing this. I guess it's okay. Does it look horrible? If it's pink, I shouldn't be wearing that. I can't tell, man. You know, they say dogs are colorblind, but I saw a video that showed what dogs actually see. And I thought that dogs can see green because it's interesting. My first dog, Daisy, was very attracted to Santa Claus toys, so I figured, can they see red? They see blue and green, but they don't see brown and red. So Drew, our dog, loves green toys, so they can see green. But there was a shot going down the street from a dog's eye view, and they'd filtered it so you could see the way a dog sees, and they could see the blue sky and the green leaves, but then there was the brown leaves that were on the ground just looked kind of gray. So anything brown or reddish they didn't see, but then they said they also see colors we don't see in the ultraviolet range. So, you know, they're not seeing everything in black and white. They're not seeing Father knows best. Yeah, this is what perfectly good in a box like this, but this is all that Amazon would use. Is they would just throw in something like this, even not as good as this is actually much better than what Amazon would use. Okay, that's fantastic. Oh, I didn't show you. He sent me these great stickers. Got 4 Gotham City Comics stickers, which look great on the front of comic boxes. Oh my gosh, I got a wonderful treat. Literally, a wonderful treat. I wonder what's in it. It's jumbo popcorn. I wonder what's inside here. Because I really don't know. Oh, wow. It's a wonderful treat. And it is a wonderful treat. It's a big little book. Actually, it's not technically a big little book. It's a better little book, which I think it was kind of like McDonald's and Burger King, big little books and better little books. I think they were different companies, but they made pretty much exactly the same product. You know, Terry Lee, Flight Officer USA. Oh, based on the famous newspaper strip Terry and the Pirates. Oh, okay. This fooled me. I'm used to it saying Terry and the Pirates. And, you know, so I didn't recognize. I thought, well, who's Terry Lee? Because Terry and the Pirates is a comic strip I admire. I love the artwork, you know, and the Dragon Lady and all that. But it was like before my time, and I love a lot of things before my time. But that was my father's childhood, and I've got some books that reprint Terry, but I don't know. I haven't read enough Terry and the Pirates to immediately recognize who Terry Lee is. I didn't know his last name. That would be like a Batman book that's just called Bruce. You know, it's like, or Bruce, you know. Anyway, it's he sent me this free. I forgot he told me he was gonna. It's kind of like looking at the Gutenberg Bible. It's Terry Lee, Flight Officer USA. 1944, Whitman Publishing. Did Whitman put out the Big Little Books and the Better Little Books? Maybe it's the same company. Because I've got Big Little Books from when I was a kid that aren't hardcover. Because in the 70s, they put them out in, you know, soft cover. With covers like kind of like the cardboard they use in a coloring book. Some of them were flipped through. You could flip through a little cartoon in the top. But they were put out by Whitman, so maybe. So anyway, that's the, remember Biden. So anyway, he came out, or the guy that wears the Biden mask came out the other day and said, "It was me that closed the border," and It's almost just like a comedy. And he sent me some more jumbo popcorn bags, man. Total of 3. That's great. Wow. Oh, I see. Oh yeah, there's some books that are sealed in a bigger bag. Yes, indeed. What will these be? The bigger bag is probably maybe a magazine bag. I don't know. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay. These are some newer books on top. This is Zombie Terrors. And this one is this artist. I just discovered him about a year ago, Steve Mannion. And I really like this artist. And he's apparently been around since the 1990s. So I sought out his first Marvel book and his first DC book. He drew a Batman book, but then I think after that his mainstream career kind of stopped, and he's been doing comics on his own for decades. And I never knew of him, but I think that he only did the cover, unfortunately, on this one. So let's see what the interior looks like. It's a modern comic. With no white borders. You know, modern comics have black borders, and then the art goes right to the edge of the page. I think that that's an attempt to recreate the feeling of being in a movie theater. I've always figured that's maybe what they're doing with these modern comics. Yeah. The interior is not terrible art, but it's but the cover is Steve Mannion. That's I was here for the cover. Okay, so anything with Steve Mannion, that's something I gotta say. Oh, I gotta put it back in the bag, I guess. I was trying to think of where do I put these books to keep them away from the cats, and I realized I've got this box right here to put them in. Yeah, I wonder if the world will end tomorrow, man. What do you think, man? Is it the apocalypse? Oh shit! What are these cats doing back behind me, man? Nonsense. Okay. Oh, it's a issue of Tomb of Dracula where he meets Doctor Strange. Still only 25 cents. Yeah, soon comics would go up to 30 cents, and then yeah, they were still good there for a while, but comics were at their best when they were 10, 12, 15 cents, and 20 cents, and 25 cents. But yeah, this is in good condition, but I've never owned this copy. It's acceptable. It was some kid folded this page, man. See, some kids didn't treat comics like I did back then. But what's different about the kid that owned this comic is they were smart enough to buy an issue with Dracula meeting Doctor Strange, and I wasn't. But then I didn't have. When did this come out? Was I living in Washington State then? No, I was probably back in Texas. Shoot. I got to get a better pair of readers. These stink. May 76. Yeah, May 76. So this came out and came out. Man, why? May, April, May. It came out in March of 76. So I was going to, what was the name of that horrible school? Was it Clark Moore Elementary in Tacoma, Washington that year? And the only place I could buy comic books was the PX and on the Army base. And they may not, this issue may not have, like Howard the Duck #1, this may not have ever been on that spinner rack there. So maybe that's why I didn't get it. I have no idea. I feel like I've got to explain to you out of embarrassment why I wouldn't have bought this. But I have a lot of holes in my collection as well as a lot of holes in my head. Ah, yes, I've been meaning to get this for a while. Yeah, that's terrible the way they placed that on the cover and that horrible Marvel logo. But this is a reprint. It's the last one, you know. One of the only good things that came out of that Fantastic Four movie last year, where the Thing is a sissy and grows a beard and is a cook and has a completely wrong voice, and everyone is miscast in the movie. But I always thought they should do a Fantastic Four movie in the 60s. That I salute them for that, although that wasn't their idea. That was planned years ago by someone else was wanting to do that. I shouldn't fall asleep during a Fantastic Four movie, though. Anyway, so because of that movie, they reprinted the first 12 issues and the Galactus trilogy, and now this is issue 12, and so that's the end. I wish they'd just keep going, although I have a large, I would say I have 80% or maybe more, 80% of the first 100 issues of Fantastic Four. You know, once you get past these early issues, because that's something I was buying heavily throughout my comic collecting career. Well, the Marvel facsimiles are printed on slick paper. The DC facsimiles try to print them on a simulation of newsprint paper that kind of feels like recycled paper, and it's wavy because most comics today are wavy. This isn't wavy. It's kind of interesting to see a 60s comic printed on this way. Wow. This makes me happy. This is my kind of anniversary present. Now, if only I could have started the show with a red moon. I wonder what parts of the United States that's visible in this morning. And this came out at Christmas time, but I'm just now getting it. Sensation Comics. An issue I would have always loved to have, but facsimile is the affordable price. It just well, I'm hearing rumors online that James Gunn says he's just flat gonna quit doing the DC Universe movies because the company that's taken over Warner is conservative and Trump-like or something, and he doesn't, he wants to make these movies where the Peacemaker is, well, I don't want to talk about that. Let's see, here, look at this Red Rider. I don't I just don't remember cowboys having submachine guns, but I think that that would be great. Can you imagine a Western where they have submachine guns in the cowboy and Indian movie where they're fighting with submachine guns? Someone should do that. Look at this Wheaties ad. Look, they politically incorrect ad, but they went ahead and reprinted it. There's Wheaties boxes at the supermarket right now that look like that. They're old replica boxes. Oh, this is so great. Why don't I just wish they'd do more of these, man. This is such a great idea, facsimiles. It's so great. Well, I said that the pages are kind of, see, this is the DC, this is a DC facsimile, so it does feel like newsprint. It feels a little grittier than newsprint. It feels like recycled paper, like maybe this was once toilet paper. I got recycled. Oh, look at that, man. When I lived in Tacoma in 5th grade, I wonder if I still have the newspaper. I saved a newspaper and it had a picture of this issue, and it in the Tacoma or Seattle newspaper, and it was talking about how people collected old comic books, and maybe there was a convention or something. It was on the front of the entertainment section of the newspaper, and had a color picture of that cover. And I always and right about that time, I also got for Christmas the two Steranko History of Comics, the 2 volumes that he never finished it, but he got the first 2 volumes done. Got those in 5th grade, and I would read through that, and I was fascinated with the Golden Age comics and the stories. And then I'd talk to my father about those comics because that was his time period. He grew up in the 40s, barely missed World War II. He was in high school, maybe junior high when it started. I remember he told me when 9/11 happened, I was driving to work on, I think the next day, or maybe it was 2 days later, and I got stopped at the train crossing, and the train just kept going. I was driving home from work. What was I think I was driving home from work. Otherwise, I would have been nervous because the train kept going and going and going, and it was just nothing but tanks and military vehicles going down to whatever military base then, maybe Fort Hood. And I said, oh boy, we are going to war. And of course, that's, just a few days after 9/11. And then my father was alive then, he told me that he remembered going to junior high school right after Pearl Harbor and seeing the same thing. America gearing up for war. I just wonder what's going to happen with this Iraq war thing. See how that. Okay, so I didn't put that book back in the bag. Some book I didn't put in the bag. What did I do? Oh no, this is the bag that all those books came in. Okay. Okay, now what is this? I was talking to Kevin on the phone at Gotham City Comics one day. We were just shooting the shit or the bull or whatever I want to. Sorry to use foul language, but we were just talking, and while I was talking to him, someone came in with some old comics, and he got them from the guy really cheap, and then he described what books he put me on a video call and showed me the books he got, and I said, that one looks great. That one looks great too. That one looks great. And I said, man, Kevin, I think I would like that whole pile of comics. He said, well, I'll sell it to you cheap because I just got it for nothing, and they're kind of beat up. And I said, I don't care. Those are every one of those comics that guy brought in, and the guy thought, oh, these aren't very good. There's no Punisher, no Venom. To me, it's like a dream collection. So that's what this is. These are all from the same person. Have you ever heard of Yogi Bear's Honey Fried Chicken restaurant? There's one left, I think, in North Carolina. I saw a picture of the sign, or maybe it was someone on YouTube doing a review of the only surviving Yogi Bear's Honey Fried Chicken. So I did a song. I had it on suno.com. See this song, listen. Well, it's the music, that's the instrumental. It's about Yogi Bear's Honey Fried Chicken. So, okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, first of all, Uncle Scrooge. And it's from June of 1968, which you can tell there because these three digits here, there's an 806. 8 stands for 1968, 06 stands for June. You know that's 1968 because it's 12 cents. Or you can, if you can open it up and look at the indicia and see that. But if you just want to look at the front of a Gold Key comic, maybe it's sealed in a bag at a comic store and you just want to know when it came out, that's how you I learned that from Graphic Man, who apparently, I guess I'm not getting notifications. He did a show the other day, I think Saturday live, and I missed it, but I guess I'll watch it when I can. But I didn't get any notification about it. Anyway, so this is look at this amazing artwork that young children have sent in. Wait a second. Someone in Wisconsin sent that in. Let's see where these kids live, man. Some kid in Detroit drew that cat. Look at the cat's eyes, man. Okay, well, that's great. Okay, here's an issue of the Flintstones, Christmas in Bedrock. It's got a little chunk out there. And let's, this says 5/12, which means 1965, December. So, ooh, and it's like this chunk's gone at the top there, and that chunk's gone. But these were comics meant for kids. What time is it, man? 5:35. There's still a red moon out there. Maybe I should go see if the clouds cleared away. Oh well. Amazing. Okay. Ooh, yeah, some of these are a little rough. Nothing that some tape won't cure. Just kidding. Yeah, this issue of Doctor Strange 173 has got a problem down there. See if I can straighten that out with this Gotham City sticker. I wish you could just use tape to fix things. Yeah, these comics probably were owned all by the same original owner. They all seem to be in the same time period and the same condition. Someone that, how do you just do that? How does a chunk just, that never happened to me when I was a kid. Chunks of comics never just disappeared. How do you treat a comic to do that? Anyway, inside the pages are relatively white. It's a perfectly good reading copy and all that. Never owned this issue of Doctor Strange. So, I almost dislike this kind of thing more. Oh no, I don't know. That could be fixed maybe with that mending tissue that Captain Strangelife's always talking about. But I wouldn't know where to buy that, and apparently it's complicated to use. So you never see Little Lotta. And this is number 74. And this is from 1967, November. So, beginning of the school year, September of 67 is when this actually was on the stands. All of the Harvey characters were crazy kids, insane mental problems. You know, you have a Casper, a ghost that wants to be friendly, and then you have a friendly witch and a friendly devil, and then you've got a girl that wants to just eat, and then you've got you've got little Dot who wants everything to be covered with dots, and Richie Rich who's obsessed with money. Who else? Can't think. Yeah, here's little Dot. I love Harvey comics, man. Oh boy. Okay, well, what do we got here? Abbott and Costello. This ties in with an Abbott and Costello cartoon that was on Saturday morning. Look, he's on the, says, help, Abbott, they put me on the wrong cover. He's on a cover of World of Wheels. So, Abbott and Costello did movies with monsters, and I like the fact that they did that, but I just, other than the Who's on First routine, I never found them really that funny. They weren't like the Three Stooges or Laurel and Hardy or Hope. You know, these people made me laugh, but Abbott and Costello, I was just always kind of waiting. That would be a fun book to have, this book of novelties. New catalog of over 2,000 novelties. It's the Johnson Smith catalog. I have a Johnson Smith catalog, but it's from the 30s. But that would be cool. Oh, I just saw something interesting here. When I was reading the Jim Steranko History of Comics, he talked to a lot of the Golden Age guys that then were probably in their 50s. You know, they were still relatively young, and he got all kinds of stories. One of them was that in the Golden Age, they were told to never use the word flick, because with the printing techniques they used, the ink would run together and would look like another word. But I noticed here in this sound effects that but notice they put a big shadow between the L and I, but from a distance it does look like that. But anyway, the Charlton people didn't get the memo. Monsters. Abbott and Costello. And of course, Abbott and Costello, I didn't find them funny, and then two people doing impersonations of their voices, because they were both, I think, deceased at that point, and cartoon form weren't any funnier. And there was same time period, there was a Laurel and Hardy cartoon also on Saturday morning. They were both been gone for at least 10 years when that cartoon started. Here's Ghost, issue 44. Ghost is a comic I loved as a kid, but I didn't ever get issue 44. It's up in the 25-cent era. Let's see when this came out. December 75. November, December 75. So I was in 4th grade. So that would be like September, maybe. Beginning of 4th grade. Yeah, there were just too many monster and ghost and horror comics coming out. I couldn't get them all. Oh, man, I guess that's James Dean. Either that or Tony Dow. I don't think so. James Dean's Curse on Wheels. I never knew they did true ghost stories in here. They always say they're true, but I never believed it. Anyway, a newspaper for comic fans. Are you into comic fandom? All the comic people look like that back then. So I thought that was Roy Thomas. Everyone that worked in a comic store looked like Roy Thomas, or they had big giant beards. If you're a serious comic collector, you should be in the comic fandom. I'm Alan L. White, editor of the Comic Collector's widest read newspaper, The Buyer's Guide for Comic Fandom. Okay, I remember The Buyer's Guide. Each issue is currently read by over 8,000 comic fans. It was out of East Moline, Illinois, however that's pronounced. Yeah, Ghost was a great comic. So you can see that when I saw this is the stuff that was in this collection that walked into a store. And here's an earlier issue of Ghost from the 20-cent time period. Very early 20-cent time period when the 20 cents is written giant on it. It's issue 17. I think the first issue of Ghosts I got as a kid was issue 4. And it had like a fakir or some guy with a turban sitting on top of cross-legged on top of a tombstone playing a flute, bringing snakes or something. I've got it upstairs. I'll show it to you sometime. August 1973. Yeah. So that means it came out in June of 73. So, okay, yes, this would have come out about the same time as the first issue of Plop. This would be the summer between 2nd and 3rd grade. It's easy for me to remember dates because I started 3rd grade in 1973. I started 4th grade in 74, you know. So if you're wondering, it's not that I'm an idiot savant. I'm just an idiot. Get in here, Bill. I want to talk to you. You punched in 7 minutes late. I'm docking you an hour's pay, and it better not happen again or else. Remember this ad? Oh, yeah, I've got news for you, Mr. Bemis. I've got a new job. New job offer with a real future at twice the money. The Cleveland Institute of Electronics. Ghost number 17. And then finally, the last one from that collection is Goofy, Success Story. I guess this is Goofy's life story, possibly. I didn't know that Goofy was a success. Well, he's successful in that he evolved. He evolved and learned to talk and walk on 2 legs. He's the only dog that I know of that was able to do that, because his next door neighbor is Mickey Mouse, who has a dog that is not evolved. He's still walking on all 4s, which Harvey Kurtzman pointed out in the old Mad EC comic, which honestly, if Harvey Kurtzman had never pointed that out, I think I would have eventually realized that. I think so. Oh, there's still more. There's still more. Okay, Tom and Jerry, an exciting Whitman variant. Now, if it's a Whitman variant, you don't have the little numbers that tell you when it came out. So you have to definitely go to the indicia. And I remember the comic book price guide in the late 70s, early 80s said Whitman variants are worthless. They're reprints. These were sold in 3-packs. Oh, somehow this is not opening. What's going on? Oh, pages seem to be stuck. They're not stuck together. It's just some weird static cling made me think the pages were stuck together with chewing gum. Anyway, that's what they claimed. They thought that the books that were sold in the 3-packs where comics aren't sold. The 3-packs were sold like in, I would see them at the PX, but they sold comics And then they also had the 3-packs, but a lot of times the 3-packs were sold where they had coloring books that Whitman put out and things like that, big little books, different kind of stores that don't normally stock comics. But it turns out that they were actually first printings that as the printing press went through, they just, at a certain point, put this element over and then kept printing. So these were not, these were printed at the exact same time, the same press run. Oh, they just stopped the press for a second and slapped that on and printed however many copies they needed that way. So now it turns out and I'm sure a lot of people, whenever they saw a Whitman variant, tossed it in the trash because the comic book price guide told them they were worthless. Now we know that they are not worthless because people care about that. So, oh well. Here's an Archie comic, $2.35. Here's Love Spray perfume. These comics were obviously meant for girls. It's country and western classics. What a 1955 through 1971. You can get it on records, 8-track tapes, cassettes, and reel-to-reel tapes. Oh, it's a big library in a carrying case. Interesting. June 1974. Amazing. Again, this looks like...
I love the Grottu Orloff show. He plays the kind of music that I like. He's a great American. Real Americans should listen to Grottu Orloff. Holy shit, on KLF Radio.
Casper and Wendy. I'm wondering if this was a collection of two brothers, because the 60s comics, mid-60s, and then these are kind of 70s. That would be kind of like, this is the time period I was buying comics, and then the 60s comics in the same pile. It almost seemed like an older brother's comics, mixed, that maybe were handed down to him, because they all seem to be in the same condition, which makes me think they all came from a single household at least. Okay, man, what's it? Man, I'm getting hungry. May 73. May 73, okay. March of 73. I was in second grade when this came out. It's a beautiful cover. It's number 5. The actual title is Casper and Wendy. There were so many different titles. Different Casper titles and Richie Rich titles. It was very much like X-Men in the 90s. Archie 187. Except a lot more fun than X-Men in the 90s. See, this is Honor House. And then Johnson Smith was a similar company. Is there a way to defend against Godzilla, Rodan, Manda, and Mothra? The answer is no. Let our battle cry be, destroy all monsters. Be prepared. See for yourself, in color from American International. Destroy all monsters. Yes, indeed. Now this one, I have this. I bought this as a kid. Mine is also from a Whitman pack. So let's see when I bought this. February 72. Okay. So that actually is December of 71. I would have been in first grade when I got this, and I think I have an actual. I think this is now my third copy of this particular issue. Um,
For much the same reasons. Today's Marine officer must become an expert in many different
yeah,
areas, and he must above all demonstrate that he has the
but that's
ability to
a
lead
blast
and
from the
develop.
past.
Leadership training for a responsible position.
Charlton
Supreme Corps
Popeye.
officer training.
Always first, always best. They're prepared for any test. No matter where or when.
Won $1,000 college scholarship. X-13 Spaceman is the backup story. Interesting. Sea Hag has her own story. These are actually pretty good, these Charlton Popeyes. This, the look you want when you want it. So you can go to third grade wearing a mustache. What year is this? June 69. The earliest comics in my collection are probably from about that time period when I was 4. First comic I ever got was Choo Choo Charlie. Why am I not in the center of the frame? Also, this feels kind of glossy. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 27. Wow, that's a pretty early issue. It's a 10-cent issue. Yeah, this is probably late 50s, I'm thinking. Yeah, March 58. So January of 58. It's The Boy from Mars. This was in that same collection. Look, Jerry the Jitterbug. Oh, interesting. Now we know where he got his name. Fantastic. Oh, there's more. I'm starving, man. You want to see more, or should I go eat? It's almost 6. Well, let's see. I still have time, I guess. What is this cat doing, man? There's the 10-cent Looney Tunes. There's the Scotch cellophane tape that I probably need to put some of these comics back. I'm kidding. Nice artwork in this. Dell, pre-Gold Key. Dell continued after Gold Key split away, but Dell comics are good comics. April 1956. This is the oldest one out of this collection so far. Ooh. Little water damaged little Jinx. They should call her a little water damaged. Look, you could wear, the girls could wear these wigs to third grade, and the guys could wear those mustaches from the other comic. I love little Jinx, so I shouldn't complain. But yeah, little Jinx is wonderful, and the artwork's great. I just don't like it when kids get water on their comics. Probably, just hopefully it wasn't, you just don't know what was that water. Was it the toilet overflow? What was it? Stored in the basement. It's all right. Surfing Wheels. That's a great cover. You can build a rugged He-Man body. Command respect and admiration. Fear no man. So, you got a outlaw biker group. Man, he's got fangs. Whoa, what the heck? This is going to be a lot of fun to read. Blemishes fade as skin clears. Okay, here's the 20-cent two-gun kid. It's cool to get a collection from one person, you know, that, again, yeesh, they've torn through this quite a few pages. I guess they were just so anxious to open the comic to find out Two Gun Kid's latest adventures. They just didn't know their own strength and tore through it. Or maybe they're trying to impress their girlfriend with their strength. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, they might have been trying to impress, like, I can tear a comic book in half. It's just like tearing a phone book. I don't know. That's weird how this tear is right on the right, torn right along his arm. See how that, weird. Man. Why do people have to tear their comics? What's wrong with these monsters? Ooh. A 10-cent World's Finest. That's great. Well, this could be my oldest copy of World's Finest. I'll have to check.
This is Donald Trump. I want you to listen to my friend Grottu Orloff on KLIF Radio.
7 gigantic dinosaurs. Now it's got a bit of a spine split. The Green Arrow story. Tomahawk. Ad for Black Hawk. Okay, World's Finest. Here's a 10-cent Superman. You almost have to feel it to see if that's really a sticker, but they're hiding the identity from the reader. Dear, can't you keep our super twins out of mischief? But Superman, how can I control them when they've got superpowers just like their dad? Featuring Superman's future wife, can you guess who she is? Well, I don't think she's Lori Lemuris, and I don't think she's Lana Lang, so that only leaves Lois Lane, because she doesn't have red hair. But maybe it's someone else. I wonder if it's an imaginary story. Giant flying plastic jet for only $1. $1 was a lot of money back then. See, that's the fun of Suno. I can make songs. I'm in love with Deputy Dog. But when I play the music, people don't. I feel like Ricky Nelson was like, he went to a garden party and people just didn't like his music, his new music. And that's what people are listening to my Suno music. The Menace of Mr. Mixyzptlk, also known as Mixpitolix. Depends on who tells you how to pronounce it, because they're probably all wrong. You probably have to ask who invented Mr. Mixyzptlk, Mr. Mixpitolix. Maybe it was Otto Bender. He seemed to create a lot of the stuff. It's kind of like Jerry Robinson creating a lot of the Batman stuff. Oh my gosh. Here's Superman 119. This may be my oldest Superman. I don't know. What was the other number I just showed you? Ooh, this one's nice. It feels nice and slick. I wish I could see things like that with my magnifying glass, which I need to clean. Amazing. Big chunk missing in back cover, you know, before you get too jealous. It's all right. How else you could ever get a book like this with white pages? You know, there's got to be problems. Comic books were meant for kids, and that's just part of the comics history at some point. But why? Why do they have to do that? I almost feel like these were handed down in the family, maybe from the father to these kids, and then that same kid reading them damaged them. Because this is a collection that spans, what year was that? This collection spans, like, most recent comic we saw was mid-1970s, and this 119 of Superman seems like this could be early 50s. Well, no, it's got the code, so it's gonna probably be, and the code is large, so it's probably gonna be about 55, 56, 58, February 58. Okay, amazing. Whoa. Two more books from that collection, a 10-cent Looney Tunes. Look here, Doc, you can have your own personal stamp pad. I like the ads where Bugs Bunny's selling rabbits. It's like, here, get your personal rabbit's foot. It's like Bugs Bunny's selling severed paws of his fellow bunnies. I like that Daffy. It's just some, you know, it's not the way you would normally think Daffy Duck's name would be written. The artwork is nice in these, and the print is small, lots of words for the kids to read with. And this is finally the end of that collection. Smokey Bear Whitman variant. You don't see Smokey Bear comics that often, especially 15s. Blow yourself up. Do you really think the average person reading Smokey Bear looked like that? I don't know. Maybe. $1972, which you can tell by all the psychedelic smiley faces and psychedelic blacklight. Ooh, this cover's this comic got a few issues. In fact, the cover's completely detached. See that? How about that? Incredible. Still. What's that they say? Shitty conditions better than no, low conditions better than no condition. At least I got that famous book, Smokey Bear. Okay. Is it time to eat yet? 6:05. Okay. This cool magazine that I've been championing for a while is Cryptology. This is issue number 6. This is the zombie issue. They seem to like to do theme issues. But the thing about this monster magazine is it is the only magazines that have been like this before this were Castle of Frankenstein and the Monster Times, in that they cover all aspects of monster culture. You know, Famous Monsters of Filmland was just movies and some television, but this magazine is going to show you zombies, everything's going to be zombies in this. Zombies in comic books and cartoon. Well, I don't know any zombie cartoons. Shit. So you've got pre-code horror, and it's on nice, slick, really nice, slick paper. See this 50s pre-code story from Marvel or from Atlas is what Tales from the Zombie was based on. I'm sorry, Tales of the Zombie. Tales from the Zombie. Tales of the Zombie, the Marvel magazine started in the early 70s. In fact, they reprinted this issue, which I think was drawn by Bill Everett. Yeah. There's a Bill Everett pre-code horror book coming out, but it's $75, man. So, okay, so they've got an article on Shaun of the Dead, which was a comedy sequel to Dawn of the Dead. I mean, it's not an official sequel, but look at this original art from George Wilson. The next time I make an order from Kevin, I've got to get maybe the next anniversary coming up. The George Wilson book, he got it in. He says it's thinner than he thought it would be, but it looks like they have a Bernie Wrightson article. Yeah. Yeah. In March, which it is March, so in a few weeks or days, this issue of Cryptology will come out, number 8, and it's what is the theme of it? It's Graham Ingalls, Robert Bloch, Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff. I don't think it has a theme. That's good. I don't really necessarily like having a theme because to me it restricts. It's like everything's got to be zombies this issue, and I don't like that idea, but it's all right. It's all right. The same company puts out Alter Ego and everything this company, Tomorrows, puts out is great. And this is number 7, which is a vampire issue. Yeah, they also put out Retro Fan and Back Issue. And that's not a magazine. I wish it was. It's a hardcover book, futuristic. I'd love to get that book. And apparently they put out Brick Journal, which I guess is about Legos. I don't know. But anyway, I love how this magazine smells. Hammer, Bela Lugosi, vampires and comics and pulps. Monsters I have known and painted about the Aurora. And about Tomb of Dracula kind of brings in Marvel horror. Tomb of Dracula. Fantastic. Oh, man. So, It is now 6:12, so the blood moon is over, and I missed it. I think it's going to rain all this week, but we need rain. Now here's the piece I asked Date Resistance. This is the big deal, Snafu, which is the latest volume of the Atlas reprints. I wonder what this bag is for. This bag must be for Life magazines or treasury-sized comics, which means I probably could use this bag. Anyway, this reprints all, I believe, 4 issues of Snafu, which was Atlas, which later would become Marvel's attempt to, one of many attempts to imitate Mad. And this is one of the, when Mad was a color comic, there were tons of color imitations, and then Mad became a black and white comic magazine. And Snafu, I think, was one of the first of the black and white imitations from Stan Lee. I think Stan Lee wrote all the stories, but this has art direction by Marie Severin, and it has a lot of great artists in it. Let's see. The first and best satirical magazine to follow in Mad's footsteps was Snafu, edited and written by Harvey Kurtzman's former boss, Stan Lee. This collection of the complete Snafu is packed with Marvel/Atlas's top humor creators, and following the Mad playbook features ad and news spoofs alongside film, television, and book parodies like The Blackboard Forest by Russ Heath, Pete Halsey's Booze and Bleed You Bum by Joe Meneely, Drugnet by Howie Post, Emily Toast Etiquette Page by John Severin, and Snafu's Lovely Ladies by Bill Everett, with production supervised by Marie Severin. Seen here is some of the most eye-popping work of Meneely's tragically short life, including great Hollywood caricatures, and this volume offers a rare glimpse of the funny John Severin caught between his early Mad work and his later cracked gags. And this new volume in its Atlas Library collaboration with Marvel Fantagraphics is tickled pink to present for the first time the complete run of Snafu, along with a history of Martin Goodman's humor publications in all genres by editor Dr. Michael J. Vassallo. So I've never owned any copies of Snafu, but it's all reprinted here. And of course, Marie Severin is someone I've always loved. Here's yeah, this is great. There's actually a picture of Betty Page right there. So they're saying it's the cheesecake section, and you turn the page, and it's a picture of cheesecake. See, that's part of the joke. You get it? I've always wanted a copy of that. I never. Yeah, that's the first issue. Oh, that's maybe the first appearance of Irving Forbush, who would become Forbush Man in Not Brand X. It looks a lot like Sylvester P. Smith, who would be the mascot of Cracked. I bet John Severin drew that, and then he kind of took his idea over to Cracked when that started in, 1958. Well, that's the whole box, man. How about that? But it's only an hour and 9 minutes, so no one's going to watch this show because the people that watch this show like longer shows. It's just the way it is. But it's all right. Hey, make sure that's the last page in there. Okay. This stuff won't fit in a comic box, so I'm gonna put it on. This is how the pinball machines get cluttered. I put stuff up there to keep the cats away, but the cats can jump up that high if they want to. Okay. Well, it's Tuesday and it's trash day. Oh, so I need to take the trash out, ladies and gentlemen. Well, everyone's been fed except for me. Okay. Let's see if there's any clearing out here. Uh-oh, the cats are hugging each other. What are you guys doing, man? They're hiding and hugging each other, man. Okay. Okay, man. Well, I don't have anything else to say to you. I'll probably do a show this weekend, more than likely. Anyway, it's lovely to see you this morning. It is now 6:20 a.m. So, take care.